So, lately on YouTube, I've seen many videos saying OpenClaw helped them make a video, OpenClaw helped them make money, and so on. But actually, the key is to understand the principles behind it. For example, as you can see on the screen now, there are several videos about using OpenClaw to automatically manage a WordPress site. So, in this case, the most important thing is to understand the WordPress API. That is, we need to know what methods can make the AI automatically upload an article to WordPress after writing it. Once you understand this principle, you'll find that you can do it in OpenClaw, Zapier, or N8N. In this video, I'll demonstrate how to do it in Manus. Let's look at the results first. This website of mine is built with WordPress. There's a category for AI news. All the AI news you see on the screen now was written automatically by AI. But while it's automated, I still want it to be high quality. So, most of the articles here are actually written automatically based on my YouTube videos. For instance, I released a video about OpenClaw yesterday. So, after I posted it, it automatically created a post based on the video content. I've demonstrated this in previous videos. Another type of article is where I give it a topic, and after the AI writes it, it publishes it to WordPress itself. It even knows how to find photos and uses Leonardo.ai to generate the cover design. As I mentioned, the most important thing in learning anything is to understand the principles. In this case, we need to understand at least three. First, how to publish articles to WordPress via API. Second, what formats are supported. Third, how to generate the images. Let's look at the first principle, publishing articles via API. WordPress provides something called application passwords. Go to user's profile on the left, and down here, you can add an application password. For example, I'll name it first. Let's say this one is for Manus, then click Add. It will provide a password-like string. Of course, you shouldn't share this. I'll delete this password after recording this video, it's just for demonstration. So, simply put, your AI Manus in this case needs this password to have the permission to post for you. That's the first concept. Now for the second concept. When it posts, it can obviously accept text and images. You can use AI to research what formats it supports. Normally, an article has titles, subheadings, bold text, and inserted photos, etc. After asking tools like ChatGPT and Gemini, they told me WordPress supports HTML format. If you don't know what HTML is, it's fine. When you instruct the AI to write and publish to WordPress, theoretically, it should know even if you don't specify HTML. But if the format is incorrect, you can remind it to use HTML format. So, this is the second principle. Moving on to the third principle, how to create this cover image. I believe many are familiar with it, using Nano Banana technology. Especially with the recently released Nano Banana 2, I found its Chinese character output to be much more stable. And here, I'll ask it to include some relevant illustrations. So, it searched for the OpenClaw logo online and automatically placed it on this cover. Now that you understand these three principles, let's dive into Manus. First things first, if you want Manus to publish articles to your WordPress, it needs your WordPress password. Of course, you could just type the password here, but that's not ideal. Passwords should be entered in a dedicated storage area. Currently, among all AI tools, only Manus offers this feature. Click the bottom left, then Connectors, then add a connector, select Custom API, and then click Add. For the name, enter something Manus will immediately recognize. Just be direct and call it WordPress application password so it knows what it is. Below that is the secret name, you can name it anything. The value field is crucial, paste the password you copied from WordPress there. So, simply put, think of this as a password safe. You see I've stored many passwords here. When you instruct Manus and it needs permission, it'll look for the password here. If not found, it can't proceed. If found, it'll execute. That's the first principle. Now that it has permission, I'll try asking it to write an article. There are different ways to write articles here. First, you can use its built-in deep research, which is called web research here. In another scenario, I want to report some news. For example, ChatGPT just launched educational features for math and science. So when someone asks a question, it generates images based on that question to help teachers. I'll just give this link directly to Manus. Then, I'll tell it to write a blog post for me and upload it to my WordPress. Since I mentioned WordPress in this instruction, if it sees a WordPress key, it'll likely publish it directly. So, depending on your preference, if you want to review the content first, don't give it the key yet. Here, I'll demonstrate giving it the key directly. I'll click Connect App, and you'll see the WordPress application password I added is toggled on. This means it has the key now. Now, I'll click Send. If you use OpenClaw, it uses your computer. But Manus has its own computer to perform tasks. You'll see on the right, it first opens the website link. After reading the news, it starts writing the article. So here you'll see it's loaded a skill called WordPress, because I'd already set up a skill earlier to teach it how to publish articles to WordPress. I've mentioned in several previous videos that this skills feature is very important, so interested friends can go back and watch those. Now, on its computer, you can see it's currently searching for images. Why? Because in that skills section, I mentioned that when you create a WordPress cover image, you need to appropriately include some relevant graphics. So now you'll see it's using Nano Banana to generate the cover image. Now, one thing to note here, normally, if we want to connect Nano Banana to the AI, it's pay-as-you-go, meaning you'd need to get a Nano Banana API key. But in Manus, it's very interesting because Manus has Nano Banana built in. You don't need your own API key, though of course, generating images here will use up your monthly credits. Now, here you can see it's generated the cover. ChatGPT launches new math and science learning features, and it's added this graphic on the right. It says the cover is done, and now it's uploading it to WordPress. Note that I haven't done any coding throughout this entire process. I don't even know programming. From start to finish, you just type and give it permissions, and it does it all itself. On the right, on its computer, it's using HTML format to write this article. Next, it successfully published this blog post to WordPress. It even provided this link for me to check, so I'll click it and take a look. What you see on screen now is the content of that article. Now, if I go back to the AI news section, you'll see the cover it just designed using Nano Banana. Wait, you'll see an error here. It accidentally published 2 posts. I'll take this chance to demonstrate how I adjust things so that next time Manus repeats this task, the chance of error is reduced. It's like training your AI employee. So here, what I'll do is type in and tell it something like this. I see that you have published 2 identical posts on WordPress. Please check if there was any kind of error or mistake. Now, you'll see that while I only intended for it to check for errors, after finding the mistake, it went ahead and deleted the duplicate article itself. Now I'll go back to the blog and hit refresh. See, it's now removed the duplicate post. So, a quick reminder, if you're worried about it deleting things randomly or misunderstanding you and deleting important files, don't give it so many permissions when you set it up. For example, you can give it permission to post and edit, but not to delete data. This is the approach we generally recommend. Next, it's found the cause of the problem. So, how do you make sure it doesn't repeat this mistake next time? So we'll use something called Skill Creator. Here, I'll click Skill Creator and ask it to modify that skill. If you haven't seen the video on skills before, you can think of skills as an SOP, which is a fixed workflow. Here, I'll tell it to update your WordPress publishing skill, and then avoid the same mistake. So you'll notice here that I don't really know exactly what it did, but that's okay. The most important thing is knowing how to manage it. First, ask questions to let it discover what it did wrong, then tell it to update the skill so it doesn't repeat the error. Now, on the right side here, I can see the specific changes to the skill. The red parts are what it deleted, and the green parts are what it added. Then you just click Add to My Skills, and it will update this particular skill. This way, the chance of the same error happening again will be much lower. At this point, you'll see that in the past, if I hired a freelancer to write an article and create a thumbnail, it might take an hour at best, and they charge per post. But with Manus, the whole process might only take 10 minutes, depending on your quality requirements for the article. You can keep refining it. Oh, and if you want to achieve 100% full automation, you can even just type and tell it to find the latest AI news every day at 9 o'clock and then publish the posts itself. In the past, we might have needed to set up an automation in Zapier or N8N, but with Manus, you just tell it what to do, and it's automated. It's very powerful. So, I believe in the future, everyone will be a manager. You need to know how to manage AI, to set up skills for it, which means setting up an SOP workflow, so it can work consistently and reliably. And when it makes a mistake, you teach it how to do better next time. Next week, we have events for 3 consecutive nights starting Wednesday. Monday is the Manus AI Agent Workshop, but that one is already full. If you still want to join, please check our Facebook inbox to see if we can add more spots at the venue. Next Tuesday night is the AI Marketing Automation Workshop. As the name suggests, this content is more advanced. You should at least know what an API is. If you haven't taken any of our courses before, I suggest you attend the Manus workshop the night before first. Also, on the evening of March 18th, we'll have our first AI meetup of 2026. As usual, I'll share the latest AI tech, including a live demo of WebMCP, which is how AI controls your browser to work. Another speaker, Michael, will share a new marketing trend using AI for video marketing content. He'll be sharing his experience using SeedEdit, currently the most powerful video model on the market. Also, if you've bought my book, AI is King, feel free to bring it to this AI meetup. If you show the book at the entrance, we'll give you a $50 book voucher. Now, limited to the first 30 people. If you miss out on the book voucher, please don't mind. Links for the 3 events are down below. If you're interested, go take a look. See you in the next video.